Just hours before the Kremlin's Victory Day ceasefire was set to begin, Ukraine launched a massive drone assault across Russian territory, with Moscow claiming more than 340 UAVs were intercepted nationwide. At least 27 drones were reportedly shot down over the Russian capital alone. For the first time in history, the Kremlin imposed a sweeping mobile internet and GPS blackout across Moscow, effectively disrupting communications and navigation systems ahead of the May 9th parade, one of Vladimir Putin's most symbolic political events. The scale of the attack has visibly rattled Moscow. Authorities tightened security across the capital, from internet shutdowns to emergency airport restrictions, while the traditional Victory Day parade itself appears scaled back. For the first time in years, tanks and heavy military equipment are reportedly absent from Red Square celebrations amid fears of possible Ukrainian strikes. The attacks came despite sharp warnings from Russian officials. Moscow had threatened retaliatory measures if Ukraine disrupted Victory Day events, while Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova warned foreign diplomats to leave Kyiv amid fears of a potential Russian response. Kremlin aides also hinted at possible large-scale strikes if attacks on Moscow continued ahead of the parade.
Following the Russian Defense Ministry's statement that it was prepared to resolutely suppress any armed provocations by the Kyiv regime, Zelensky hastily announced, or attempted to announce, the start of a ceasefire on the night of May 5-6. And there is no doubt that this move was dictated not only by an attempt to use the media to overshadow the topic of the ceasefire announced by Russia to mark Victory Day on May 8-9, but also by the genuinely dire situation of the Ukrainian armed forces on the front line. The Kyiv regime desperately needs a break to regroup and prepare for the continuation of hostilities and terrorist acts. We had no illusions about the Kyiv regime's willingness to cooperate.
In his Victory Day address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russia of betraying the legacy of World War II. Zelensky said Ukraine was once again being forced to fight what he called total evil, arguing that defending Ukraine today was equal to defending Europe from tyranny decades ago. The Ukrainian leader also praised the united free world for standing with Kyiv against Russian aggression.
Unfortunately, 81 years later, we are again forced to stop evil. A total evil that brings nothing but ruins and oppression, and which is based on a similar ideology of hatred. A renewed version of Nazism, branded as made in Russia.
The escalating rhetoric and unprecedented drone attacks have transformed Victory Day into far more than a ceremonial holiday. It is now a high-stakes battle over symbolism, history, and political power projection. As Moscow prepares for its most important national spectacle under extraordinary security pressure, the confrontation between Russia and Ukraine is increasingly being fought not only on the battlefield, but over history, legitimacy, and global perception itself.